Hi everyone, welcome to Eden Secret. Today we are doing a cold process and melt and pour soap all in one. I've got some melt and pour clear crystal melt and pour melted from Stevenson's. I've got some vanilla extract here, and also I'm going to use some vanilla cream fragrance oil. And just pop some of that into the soap. And the reason I'm using the vanilla extract is I just want to darken the fragrance a little bit. No, darken the soap a little bit. And this is something I used to do in the old days. I don't know if I ever did a video, but I'm literally just going to pour that in there, and it'll just give it a nice tannish, like a deeper, well, you can see what colour it is. I just want a natural colour that is clear. I'm just going to give it a spray with some rubbing alcohol to get rid of the... You don't need rubbing alcohol, you can work without it. It's not something I use a great deal of. I've got my loaf here with the silicone mould in, and then we're literally just going to pour that into the mould. Sorry, I'm just trying to film this on Snapchat as well. So we're going to let that harden up, and then we're going to slice it. That's what it looks like in the mould, but it won't be staying in there, it'll be coming out, and I'm going to cut it into strips. So the next technique we've got is we've got a tray, just any old baking tray, with a silicone mat on the top. I've melted some more melt and pour here, so we're going to do exactly the same. Pop in some vanilla fragrance. I forgot I've put my vanilla essence away. So some more vanilla essence in there. The great thing with your melt and pour is that it holds fragrance incredibly well. I think we need a little bit more vanilla in that. So this is just two different techniques that we're doing with the melt and pour that's going to go in the same soap. Now in the olden days we used to put glycerin, pure glycerin, into this because it was easier to mould, but I've learned that as long as you don't let it set too hard, it'll mould easily anyway. So we're just going to pour this onto the tray like that. I think there might be a bit too Oh, it can't be that deep, can it? It feels a little... I don't want it really thin, but I don't want it really thick either, because it's not going to roll very well if it's too thick. So I'm just going to take a bit out of there. Oh, it's not very thick at all, actually. Actually, it's the thickness of the spoon, which is about 1 centimetre, and I think that maybe will be a little bit too thick. So we'll just take a few spoonfuls out. And we'll have to make 2 of these anyway. Well, we'll see how this works. The good thing is if it doesn't work, we can just remelt it. So I'm going to leave that to set, but I'm going to keep checking it every now and again, because what I want to do is I want to well, I'll show you what I'm going to do when it's time. Okay, let's see if it's ready to roll. So we're just going to peel it off like this and hope it doesn't burst. I'm not sure I like what is going on, but so you're just going to twist it and turn it into a Swiss roll, but it'll be a Swiss roll with gaps, and I'll show you from the side what I mean. I think it's too big, but we'll do it and see how it works. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to chop it back up and put it in to remelt and have another go. So there we are. So what we're looking for down the side is we want it to be more like this. So you've got a gap here all the way through to the centre, and your cold process soap is going to it's going to fall into that tube. Now I'm probably going to redo this only because it's not long enough for me loaf. See, it's, oh, I guess I'm going to have to do 3 really, aren't I? Because it's actually still warm. And I know it's a bit frilly on the edge there, but when you cut into it, it won't be like that. Well, let's just do that, shall we? Because I am actually going to remelt it and redo it. If you cut into the side, you can see what I should have done was twist that centre bit over. The thickness is not too bad actually. I do want it fairly thick. That is a little bit too thick. So I'm going to chop it up and put it back in the jug and we'll remelt it. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to get some cling film. And put it over here. So lengthwise compared to our loaf, it's still going to be short, but I'll have to make 3, and we'll just cut a piece off and stick it in the end. Okay, so we worked out the other, I mean, looking at the ruler, it looked like it was even more than 1 centimetre. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in here, and then I'm going to pour the soap in until it gets up to 1 centimetre. Now, it'll really come in handy if you've got a nice level tray. My tray's not very level, but it'll do for what I'm trying to show you to do. Right, so again, we're just going to leave that to set. Might take 15 minutes to half an hour, but I'll let you know when we roll it up how long it took. Okay, so let's just unmould the loaves first while the soap is still warm, and in your mould, just unmould it. It's just so much easier if it's still warm, because it's really easy to cut. Now, you might wonder why I want to cut it. I'm going to cut a slice off this end and a slice off this end, because I want the clear to be in the centre of the opaque, and I want a border around it. So I'm going to cut some off each end, and then we'll use what's cut off each end. I'll remelt, and again I'll make a spiral out of it. So you'll see how simple it is to cut while it's still warm, and I'm cutting about 1 centimetre off each end. I mean, you can do all kinds of things with this if you want to, but I'm not going to do that today. And then we'll just place that. I'll probably just pop it back in the mould for now. Just keep it nice and flat. Oh, just one other thing. You need to cut a little piece off the end. Just a tiny little piece like that. So that when you pour the cold process soap in, it's not pushing the mould liner too much that way. It's like overfilling the mould, and then when you try to get it out, it's a lot harder to get out. I know that when I made the my Battenberg soap, it makes it a lot more difficult, so I always cut a little bit off the end on the Battenbergs as well. Otherwise you've got to leave it like 3 days to before you can unmould it, because obviously it starts to shrink away from the edge of the silicone mould liner. Look, you can even tie a knot with it. So I won't bore you with unmoulding the third one. And I'm going to melt what we've got in here and then re-pour another spiral. You see I've got 2 ready at the back already. So I just need a third one, and I'll show you me obviously rolling it up this time. And so because it's spring, we're going to be doing, I've just fancy doing all pastels, so we're starting with white, then I'll do lemon, maybe a pale peach, a pale pink, what would be next? Lilac, pale blue. Have I missed anything out? Let me know if I've missed any colours out. So I'm probably going to do them in order and do the lemon colour next. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So just lifting it up and curling it over. Make sure you curl that right in there. I feel like I've left this one too long. I have, look, it's split. I'm gonna redo that. Right, let's try hopefully one last time. So it's nice and bendy. Just peeling off the cling film. Yeah, this is perfect. And that's it. We have 3 of those. You see the middle one, I've actually cut it so you can see how thick it is. And they should all be the same because I've used the same amount of soap for each one, which was, gosh, what was it? Probably about I think it might be 400 grams. Right, so I'm going to get my soap mixed up, and then before we'll do that, we'll give these a good spray with rubbing alcohol. It'd be a good idea to spray them inside as well. The good thing is, if you get your soap, your cold processed soap, nice and hot, it'll actually melt this spiral. It melts the melt and pour soap. And while that might not be a good thing in other circumstances, in this circumstance it'll be a good thing, because it'll heat it up and it'll melt the outside slightly so that the cold process sticks to the melt and pour, because that's really what you want. Okay, so we have our 3 moulds ready. I've got my soap batter ready over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to do 3 measurements. And we're going to start with 400 mils of soap. It might need to be 450. I always do this because literally this is the first time I'm ever making this, so I don't know how much we need to put in. I'm gonna go for 500. Put some vanilla in there. Now this vanilla sets very quickly. I need to give it a quick mix and then get it straight in like that. And then 400 again. 500 I mean. See, it's a funny fragrance that it really needs to be blended in, because I don't know if you can see, it actually makes fragrance lumps. Can you see them? Some fragrances do that. Off the top of my head I can't think which other one I've used does that, but this one always does it, and that's why I just mixed it with a spoon, because I wanted to show you. Even if I blended it now, I wouldn't be able to get those lumps out. It's quite strong, this vanilla as well. Right, so we're just going to let those set, and then we're going to lay these on top. It's not far off set, but it's not quite set yet. It's still a little bit wobbly. You can tell when it's ready, because what happens is, if you want a perfectly straight line, the soap is not shiny on the top, and you can tell that it's not loose anymore. And as you can see, it's still rather shiny down there. It's still moving a bit. I probably didn't put enough fragrance in there. So I'm going to put this on top, and then on top again I'm going to put the spiral. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a little trick with the heat gun. I'm doing it bottom side, as I want it to go into the loaf. Just take a heat gun, turn it on, and just run it over the top here, and that'll melt the outside slightly. Don't do it too much. You don't need to see it running or anything. Just putting the heat up and letting it roll over. As you'll see, I'm just saying it before I do it in case you can't hear what I'm saying. So let's turn it on and see how it works. It's hot already. And that makes it sticky all the way along. And then we're going to pop it into the mould. And what I want to do is make sure we have a gap. Just press it on there. Not too hard, because you don't want it to fall into the soap. So what we've got is you can see right down each side is a gap, and that's what's going to create our border on the soap. So we'll do exactly the same with the other two now. I need a new heat gun because this one, it's only working on one setting. Okay, right, so the next step is another layer on top of there. I don't know if we'll need 500. Yeah, yeah, the next layer isn't just a small layer, it's a bigger layer. But I don't know how much we need. So it's just about guessing. I wonder if what I should do is just split what I've got left in the tin into 3, because that'll just give me an even amount for each one. We'll try that first. Can't believe it's spring already. But I love it. This is going to be the easiest way to do this. So how much have we got in this one? nearly 1200, 1100 in there and a kilo in there, so we definitely need more in this one. Now I'm going to make sure those measurements on there are exactly the same, because it's surprising how a little bit can make a big difference in the height of the soap, and I want to try and get all three identical. So yeah, I've got 1200, well, there seems to be a tiny little bit more in this end one and not quite enough in that one. So that's it. Right, now what I need to do is I'm just going to heat gun the tops now of the glycerin soap, or crystal soap, or melt and pour soap, whatever you want to call it. Because the heat's going in there, should melt the sides as well slightly. I wouldn't suggest putting any glitter or mica or anything around the glycerin soap, because they don't stick together that well. You'll notice, I don't know, it's a long time since I've done it, but when I've put melt and pour into cold process in the past, around the melt and pour tends to get little bubbles, and that's without me doing what I've just done. So you might also notice that on the website the soaps are changing a lot more often now, and rather than keeping the same ones, obviously I've got my core range like my pink champagne and my Battenberg and pink twinkles, green twinkles, that kind of thing, but everything around them is changing all the time. So I just want to keep it fresh and keep you interested, give you something different to watch. Not for every video, because a lot of people love to see the same things over and over, and that's absolutely fantastic. Whatever you like, whatever you support, great. So if you do want the soaps, be sure to get them as soon as you possibly can. Right, so we're putting about yeah, that will be too much. I'm saying 45 mils, so I'm not going to put that much in. I'm going to put 35 mils of fragrance in there. Right, so this is the part where we'll have to work quickly. Pour the soap in. Give it a tap. I should have trimmed these up. And then we're going to push the soap in like this. And then all of the cold process soap will find its way into the tube. I need to get enough here before this sets up. And get that one in as well. No, it's too long. Because what I want the soap to do is I want the curl to stick out of the top of the soap. Now, there is a bit too much soap in there, but it's okay, I can get rid of it later. I don't know whether to try and spoon some out now, because I'll probably spoil it. I'm not going to. So for the next layer, I'm just going to split a bit of soap off because there was a little bit too much in there. I've taken it down to 1100 mils. Probably still be quite a lot, but we should be okay. And I am going to wrap these soaps up because I want them to get nice and hot. See, it's still high. I'm a bit disappointed about that, but because I did want to put some sugar sprinkles down the side here. But anyway, well, would you look at that? I haven't made enough curls. How stupid am I? I've only made enough curls for 2 soaps. I've gone and put the fragrance in to the soap, so I guess what I'm going to do is just pour this and use it as free samples or what a divvy I am. So we'll just chop this up, these bits that we've got left. Can you see me doing that? I'll just sprinkle those in the top. I mean, I guess we could still sell this. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Just make sure they're all coated in a little bit of cold process so that they stick into place. Now I'm going to have a go because this is still a little bit fluid. At scraping some out. So maybe something will go right for me. I'll just get something to clean that off the curl. Right, so what can I clean that off there with? Probably better with the same ruler works the best. Right, now a wet wipe. Wet wipe just to clean it off like this. That's it, because I didn't want any soap on that curl. Now I can put the sprinkles on. I've got these lovely Jane Asher sprinkles at Home Bargains. I'm loving Home Bargains at the moment because they've got so many awesome things for us soap makers. So I'm just going to sprinkle those into a cupcake, a bath bomb. Now I want something bigger. Give them a mix, and then we're going to sprinkle them along the edge. Do you want to be closer for that? No, that is what I wanted. So it would make a nice wedding soap, this one. Especially if you've got golden ivory as your theme. I'm just filling any gaps that there are in, and then we'll just press them in again. Oh no, no, I shouldn't have done that. Made a right mess. Oh no, I need my wet wipe again. If you want to know what kind of wet wipes these are, they're the Johnson's Johnson's facial wipes. Right, so let's press all those lovely beads. You probably want to put your gloves on if you want to do this. I should be doing that right now, but I'm so naughty. You know, just remember, I know I don't always do what I should, but you just take responsibility for the safety that you, the level of safety that you want to take. It's like, it's up to us, isn't it? What we should do. And there we are. Does it need some glitter on the top? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. Please vote. I'll post 2 comments. Please vote whether you would like glitter on the top or not. Because the great thing about melt and pour soap, even when this is made and finished and ready to cut, I can still put glitter on the top and it'll it'll stink, everybody. It'll stick, because I can use the heat gun again and just melt it gently and then sprinkle the glitter on. So glitter yes or glitter no. So we'll be back to cut this very soon. What should we do with this one? Shall we just put some pearls on there? And just press those in as well. I guess I could just make smaller slices of this and sell it off cheaper, couldn't I? That's what I'll do. Small slices and sell it off as an accident. Right, there we have. I mean, it still looks lovely, doesn't it? It's so pretty. I mean, is it prettier than the others? I guess we'll see. The thing is, cut. The ones with the spiral in are going to look the best. And we'll be back to cut them any second now. So here we are. A delicious vanilla cream. Nice and strong. And I think I'm going to call it Golden Sunshine, because it actually reminds me of a beautiful creamy golden sunset with the cream clouds and obviously the sun setting with the spiral. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, wherever you are in the world, from the UK to the US to Mexico to Australia to New Zealand to China, Japan, Russia, Europe, Seychelles, Maldives. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all very, very soon.